King Charles and Queen Camilla paid a surprise visit to Pope Francis during their state visit to Italy. What more can you tell us about the visit?
Yeah, so Charles and Camilla are on their state visit at the moment in Italy, and they were able to see the Pope yesterday overnight, and that was a surprise. It wasn't previously announced, and of course, the Pope was on, in serious hospitalisation. There were concerns that he was going to die quite recently. So very, I think, heartwarming for people around the world to see two leaders who've battled, illness, of course, Pope Francis and King Charles, as he's still going through chemotherapy treatment. So, I think it was a very reassuring sign. I think, especially, when there is a lot of turmoil in the world, to see two leaders symbolically, I guess, come together like that. I think it was a really inspiring sign, and just great to see Charles and Camilla out doing more royal tours around the world.
No, we love to see it. Prince Harry, he's been back in court. He was in London's Court of Appeal this week amid his ongoing legal battle with the British Home Office. What's the latest on his case?
Yes, so Harry was back in London on Tuesday and yesterday for hearings in this appeal. As you said, it was the Court of Appeal, so Harry lost the case originally in the High Court. It's now gone to the Court of Appeal. And the legal argument is the same. It's basically saying that it was unjust that Harry lost his taxpayer-funded security protection when he left royal duties. The Home Office has stood by their decision. They said, look, you left. I mean, they're not working royals. They're not of any real benefit to the taxpayer. So
Correct.
I don't really understand, and I agree with the Home Office, why they should be expected to front up. I think Harry wants the full sort of treatment. He wants armed officers. He wants, this sort of full protection around him when he's in the UK. And I just think it's not appropriate. He's not a working royal. He's not King Charles. He's not Prince William. He has an inflated sense that maybe he's still on that level, but he isn't. I mean, This is 5 years ago now, that he's been out of the royal family, and times have changed. And, one thing I've always found really baffling about this case in particular is that Harry's insistence that, it's so dangerous for him in the UK that he just cannot go there or bring Meghan and their children there because of safety. But, we saw them last year in Nigeria. We saw them in Colombia. They've travelled to a lot of different countries that, frankly, are less secure in many respects than the UK. So I don't really, there's a disconnect. I think this is Harry's vendetta. I think this is just part of his obsession with getting back at the British establishment.
I think so.
And I think that he's a multi-millionaire. He has a lot of money. Instead of, putting it into legal battles, pay for your own security.
Absolutely. No, well said. Couldn't agree more. Well, just days before Harry's appearance in London, one of his close friends celebrated their wedding, which Harry and Meghan didn't attend. Why did the Sussexes skip yet another wedding?
Yeah, that's right. So it was Lord Vivian's wedding over the weekend, and that was a close friend of Harry. He was in that famous photo you might have seen, the Band of Brothers photo that was taken on the night of Harry's wedding.
Right.
I think we see it now.
There it is.
He's second from, as you can see with the circle there. And he was a close friend of Harry's. He was part of his world and his social circle. And this was Lord Vivian's second wedding over the weekend. Harry was at the first wedding. He was involved in that wedding. I think he was an usher at that wedding. So to go from being actively involved in the wedding to not showing up, I think was pretty insulting. And the Daily Mail spoke to Lord Vivian. He did confirm publicly that Harry was invited. He said he didn't know why he didn't show up. Supposedly, again, it's a security issue that Harry didn't feel safe going to the wedding. But, it's an interesting pattern because this is now the third wedding from one of Harry's close friends that he's skipped. He also skipped the Duke of Westminster's wedding last year, which was basically like a royal wedding. I mean, that was the society occasion of the year. The whole royal family was there. And he also skipped another close friend's wedding around the same time. So, I do think it's sad in a way because it just goes to show that, 5 years after this dramatic break from the royal family, he isn't the same person. He doesn't have the same circle, for better or worse. And I think this is another kind of example of that.
I agree, and we've been seeing it play out. Reilly Sullivan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.